I am Enigma Hood. I'm tired. I'm tired of people believing in nonsense. Muhammad. Muhammad is believed by Muslims to be the prophet. Well, the problem with Muslims is they never bother to think about what it is that they believe in. Well, if you're unfamiliar with the story about Muhammad and the origins of Islam, I'll give you the quick version of it. Muhammad was an Arab man who lived in what is today known as Saudi Arabia. And he lived most of his life, he lived a pretty hard life. He didn't have any parents, raised by his uncle, I believe. And, eventually he got married to a wealthy trader, or businesswoman, I think, something like that. She was older than him. Anyway, one day he went to a cave somewhere out in the desert to think about things, meditate. I don't know what he was doing in that cave, but he was all alone, and the story goes that God, or Allah, the one true God, sent down one of his angels, the angel Gabriel, to visit him in the cave, and the angel commanded Muhammad to recite the words of God and be his messenger, his prophet. And, supposedly at first he was terrified of this and went back home to his wife and thought he was crazy. She said, "No, you're the prophet, blah blah blah, go and tell people about Allah and how you're his messenger," and stuff like that. There's a lot more to it, of course, and I do want to point out some things that I do like about Muhammad. I like that he was a great politician, he was a statesman, and he was a general. He did lots of things. He united the Arab people in Saudi Arabia. He united them. Back then they were just tribes. It's not like today where they have nations. They were just warring tribes, always fighting and killing each other. He gave them unity. He gave them purpose, a sense of belonging. And back then this was extremely important. He was an exceptional man in that regard. Unfortunately, he's not the prophet, because there's no scientific evidence that God exists, and even when you think about the story, it doesn't make any sense. So God, or Allah, sent down his angel Gabriel, to recite the words of God to this human named Muhammad, who, by the way, was illiterate. He could not read or write. So the way he wrote the Quran, he had other people write it for him. He just recited it. Think about that for a minute. If you were Allah and you had an army of angels to do your bidding, wouldn't it make a lot more sense to use the angels as your messengers, as your prophets? Don't you think that Gabriel would have been able to present a more convincing argument to the Meccans? The Meccans were the people of Mecca at the time, who believed in different gods. They called them idols. Really, it's just different gods, though. There's no difference between them and like Allah. It's just Muhammad united all of them into one, essentially, and that was Allah, the one God. But don't you think that Gabriel would have been a better messenger than some illiterate man who was past his 40s? That doesn't make sense to me. And if it doesn't make sense, then it's not true. Okay, be skeptical about your beliefs. Muslims, I'm asking you just to think about your beliefs for 2 seconds. Doesn't it make more sense to use Gabriel as a messenger? I mean, he has fucking wings, right? He would have wings. He would have some supernatural powers that Muhammad didn't have. Did you know that the Meccans were trying to kill Muhammad? At one time, they were trying to kill him. And he had to flee to Medina, I believe. Why? Why would Allah let these evil Meccans who worship these idols go and kill his prophet? Why didn't he intervene? Why didn't he save him? He never did that. He had to rely on humans to protect him. I know somebody's going to come up with some rationalizing explanation. Oh no, he had to work for his deeds. Well, come on, please. Fuck you. Okay? If I wanted people to believe in me, and I'm Allah, I'd do a lot to protect the guy who's spreading the message that I exist. But even better, I would use an angel I would first make the angel invincible, and I would make him super powerful so it's obvious that this thing is not of earthly origin. Yeah, that would be a lot more convincing. Come on, think for 1 second. It makes more sense. Damn it. You guys piss me off, you know that? You piss me off when you don't think. And I know that people are gonna start saying shit like, oh, how do you prove that Muhammad's not the prophet? Shifting the burden of proof. It's my opinion. Okay? And it makes sense. Okay? Where's your evidence that God exists? If you make the claim, you have to back that claim up with evidence. Where's your evidence that Muhammad is the prophet? Other than citing the Quran. Because that's a circular argument. I don't know. I don't know what to do about these people who believe in these fairy tales. You can go with them with reason and logic, but in the end, it's just, it's not even about whether or not it's true or not. They believe in it just because of cultural reasons, because it makes them happy, because of any stupid reason under the sun except what is rational and what is true. People believe in things that make them feel good. If it doesn't make you feel good, then they become skeptical. And a person can be a theist and be skeptical, but they're skeptical about everything except their own beliefs. Muhammad was a great man, though. He accomplished a lot. United the tribes. The only thing is, it has no relevance anymore. In today's society, it has no more relevance. We're not united by religion. We're united by so many other things. Nationality being the biggest one. But how about ideology? Religion gradually needs to fade away into obscurity. It's just holding us back. And if Muslims want to continue believing in this, that's fine. My concern is mostly with India, though. India, in particular, I feel strongly about, because I want them to advance as quickly as possible, and I know that religion is holding them back. Not just Islam, but Hinduism in particular. But that is a topic for another video. This is Enigma Hood signing off.